What's up guys, Mr. Scanlon here, and in this video we're going to be continuing where we left off with our After Effects basic tutorials down your special effects path. Alright, so we talked a little bit about how animation worked in the last video, and then we did a little bit of motion blur. Now we're going to get into effects and presets now, because we haven't really touched this side a whole lot. We use this like preview tab to kind of hit play and stuff, but we haven't touched on anything else. All we have right now is like 2 layers sitting in there, so I'm just going to clean that up right now. And then we're also going to talk a little bit about this toolbar, hopefully, up here. So just a few things to talk about this right now. So far, we've only been using the selection tool. So we've been like clicking around, moving things around, doing stuff with this guy right here. And that's all good and all. And that's pretty much what we want. Hopefully, like anytime you click something, you have the selection tool on. I don't think you could really do it with anything else. Just to talk about some of the other things up here, this hand tool can be pretty useful sometimes. You'll notice that the shortcut is H, so if you just hit H on the keyboard, it'll switch to the hand. But this hand tool basically like helps you move around the composition a little bit better. So like maybe like let's say you're working on something and it gets kind of like particular up here. Like maybe I need to fix this one thing that's right up here. You can maybe zoom in a little bit and kind of just move up there and do what you need to, and then zoom out with the hand tool and kind of just get back to like the middle of the road placement there. This is the zoom tool. I usually just use the mouse roller that you have on there. If you want to use this is fine. I never use it. This is the rotation tool where you can just start rotating things with it. I usually don't use that just because whenever you're trying to rotate something, you want to be very exact with it. So that's why I would use the rotation tool inside the transform, so I can set a very specific rotation. Because there's not so much sense in having something that looks like that unless that's your goal. Usually you want something at 90 degrees or something. So I usually just try and be more exact with that. So it's not something I use a whole lot. This camera tool is not something you'll use anytime soon. It's actually something you'd never use inside of a 2D video, I would think. Unless, I kind of take that back. If you're not doing anything that's three-dimensional, you wouldn't use this, okay? I don't mean a 3D video that you need 3D glasses for. I mean like 3D stuff going on in the video. That's what you need this for. You don't use it otherwise. I don't use the pan behind tool. This rectangle tool can be kind of useful sometimes. It's not just a rectangle tool. You'll notice that there's like a little arrow here. If I click and hold this down, some other things come up. And if I select, I can select any of these, and it'll basically make kind of like a cutout tool. So let's just go with this ellipse tool right here. So if I go to, let's select, let's select the blue background, just so I can show you that, whatever I do right here doesn't affect the red right now. I can just literally click and drag. You'll notice that the background went away right now. Click and drag and make like a circle with this thing right here. It's not always going to be perfectly exact. I ended up with a kind of an awkward oval right here, but it can get the job done if you do it right, depending on what you're trying to get at. And then just to finish it up, I'm just going to go back to the select tool, and there I have it. I have like a circle thing here. You'll notice it created this mask variable in here, which we'll talk about in 1 second. So I'm not going to do a whole lot with this, but just know that you can make shapes in here. If you wanted an exact like ellipse or something like that, something more like exact so that the sides were touching at these points, you can have this blue selected and then double click this guy and it'll make something perfectly exact. What about a circle, you're asking? How do I make like a perfect circle? You would need like the red square, because this is more of a square or something like that. So you just basically need like a layer that's more of a square, and then you can do it like that. And obviously you can do any of the other shapes the same way. So that's it for that tool. This pen tool is actually very important. It's not drawing. I can't draw on here with it. The pen tool is actually, you'll notice there's some other stuff in here. Just use the pen tool. It's better. This tool helps me cut things out. So it's basically called masking, okay? You mask a layer in After Effects, okay? So if I wanted to, I don't know, let's say I'm trying to make this red square thing into a diamond or something like that, I can do that with the mask tool. Maybe not a diamond. I don't know. I'm just going to make a weird shape. So what you have to do is you have to make sure something is selected, okay? Let me show you what it's like if you don't have anything selected real quick. You're going to start clicking around, and it's going to be blue, and you're going to be like, what the hell is this? What the hell? What is going on right now? You don't want that, clearly. So it creates a shape layer right here. Just delete that. You do not want that. Just don't even think about that ever, okay? You don't want it. Make sure you're selecting a layer in here. In this case, we're selecting the red one. And then just start clicking around like this. I don't know. I'm just making a weird shape right now. Bam. Okay, so I just made this freaky shape. I don't know. This isn't even a shape thing. I don't know what this is. It's a very bad like Y or something. I don't know. And basically, you can make that with this mask tool. You'll notice that down here it created this mask like transform thing, this mask tab, and you can open this up and start doing things with it. So first of all, you can change like the mask expansion. So if I like start dragging it this way, you'll notice that the mask starts like filling in back to the square. Or I can subtract it by going negative, and it'll like kind of just go in until it's gone. We're gonna go back to 0 with that. You can change the mask opacity in here. I don't know, like I wouldn't usually do that a whole lot. I would just mess with the opacity here, but to each their own, I guess. You can, this is kind of cool. This feathering option right here is very, very cool. If you turn this up right here, you'll notice that it like feathers out. It like kind of like blurs the edge. That's what it does. It blurs it in and outside of the line.